What's up, you guys? So, I probably should not be making this video right now because it's I have so many thoughts in my brain, and what I've noticed is that the best time for me to make a video is when I did some yoga, calmed down, slept a little bit, just really spent a few days gathering my thoughts. But I feel very excited to share with you guys. It's been a few days since I made a video, and I feel like if I don't have my fix of making a video, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm just gonna have so much inside of me that's bursting to come out that I won't even be able to do my day-to-day stuff. So, I just had to do this. So, the title of this video is How to Get People to Do Anything You Want. And the reason why I think this is really important, it's a really important thing to talk about, is because I've been making a lot of my videos about doing whatever you want and going, and I'm always talking about this with people in my personal life. I'm always talking about this, I'm always thinking about this, being independent. Don't care what anybody thinks. Do whatever you want. Go travel the world, start a business, whatever you want to do. Get a hobby, learn if you want to learn how to sing. For me, it's I want to learn how to sing and dance. Learn how to sing and dance. Just ignore everybody. Figure out your dreams. Go and chase your dreams and whatever it is. But the thing is, the reality is that I feel like the more I'm talking to people, thinking about it, the more I'm meditating and having time to actually think and take a step back and think. What I'm realizing is for a lot of people, it's not very practical. For a lot of people, just do whatever you want and don't care about other people is not very practical, because their life situation is still very dependent on other people. And even in order to get out of the situation with other people so that they can go and be independent and do whatever they want, there's certain things that they need from other people. Other people might need to let them leave the situation. Other people might need to empower them. For a lot of people, you need other people in order to either give you certain things or not do certain things to you, or to inspire you in certain ways. You need other people in order to get to where you need to be. And this is okay, because if you didn't need anybody, then what would the point of all of us be? We need each other. So, I was having some of my coffee. So, that's why I decided to talk about this. It's okay to need other people. And it's okay to need people to give you things and do things for you in order for you to be okay. Personally, I'm always on about how I don't need anybody, and other people really actually take energy from me. But the truth is, I need people too. I'm very concentrated in the way I need people. I have one person, Andrew, who fulfills a lot of my needs. So I actually don't need a lot of other people, because I have met a lot of people, and I have been very repelling in my attitude towards other people, because I just get overstimulated with people. So I actually genuinely don't need a lot of people, and most people are actually a hindrance for me. And I was fortunate enough that I was able to, and I trusted this instinct in myself and say, I don't need this person, I don't need this person. I trusted my instinct to keep searching until and being very selective until I did find certain people that are fulfilling more needs in less energy. So fulfilling more of my needs and taking less of my energy in order to do that. So that was my personal need, was I needed people that take less of my energy and give me more of my needs. And that's okay also. But what I'm realizing for a lot of people is they get a little bit of energy from a lot of people. And so instead of learning how to be completely on your own, you might want to know how to get the people in your life to do what you want to do. Whether it's How do I get my boss to give me a raise? How do I get my partner to treat me nicely, treat me with more respect, buy me more things, do nicer things for me? How do I get my partner to, for a lot of women, how do I make my partner stronger? A lot of women, especially in like the Western countries, a lot of women are struggling with finding that they're doing all the man things. Like they're like, you know, they have children, they're having the children, they're doing all the work, they're making the money, they're all these things, and like they're struggling because the husband maybe feels inadequate and he's acting like it too. You're just like sitting around playing video games, kind of like a bump on a log, you know, sitting in the room, whatever. A lot of people are struggling with that. How do I get my husband to do things? How do I get my wife to do things that I want, do more things around the house, or maybe be more accommodating, be more like this way that I want them to be like. So whatever it is, how do I get my parents to lay off of me? How do I get my parents to give me this thing I want? How do I get my employees to listen to me and do what I tell them to do? How do I get my teachers, friends to like me and give me good grades? How do I get investors to want to invest in my company or my business idea? So many things that you might want from other people. How do I get people to like me and just smile at me and not ignore me and make me feel so lonely all the time and so disconnected from the world? So anyways, the first thing that you do, and I brought my marker board this time because I really want to use it, not like last time where I thought I wanted to use it, but I didn't find an excuse to use it. So first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to validate your need. Okay. So first we're going to it's backwards. I knew something was going to go wrong with this marker board. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do in this backwards marker board is we're going to validate your need. You're going to validate the thing that you want and be okay with it. Accept it. It's okay. You want your husband to make more money, be wealthier. You want your wife to be nicer to you. You want your boss to give you like whatever it is that you want. Validate it. The way to validate it, this is what you want. This is what you should want. This is what it is okay to want. And you know what? This is what you can have. You can literally have anything you want. And it's 2024. You're seeing evidence of this. You can literally, you want to be a billionaire? You can be a billionaire. You want to be a singer? You can be a singer. Don't even entertain the ideas and thoughts and feelings of anyone who doesn't even think that that's possible or is not even, and if it like, I'm telling you right now that what you want is possible and you can have it, and your brain wouldn't even want it if you couldn't have it. So that's the first thing that you need to do, is you need to understand that it's okay to want what you want. You want everybody to bow down to you when you walk in the street, you can have that. You want every girl, if you're a guy, you want every girl to lick your pee-pee when you're like passing by them. Like, there is nothing that is too much or unreasonable. Yeah, maybe everybody in your society will think that is unreasonable. Maybe everybody that sees you will think that's unreasonable. Maybe you won't find a single person that is going to validate what you want. Who cares? Who cares? Because your goal right now is to serve your purpose and not anybody else's. Your goal is to serve your purpose, and your purpose lies inside of you. You know what that is. And your needs will allow you to serve your purpose. You fulfilling your own needs is what is going to allow you to serve your purpose. So maybe the thing that will take you to the next step of fulfilling your purpose is for everybody to lick your pee-pee, for everybody to bow down to you, for you to be a singer, for you to have whatever it is that you want to have, to do whatever you want to do. And it doesn't mean that everybody is going to give it to you. It doesn't mean that other people will even acknowledge that this is a cool thing for you to have, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that you can't have it. So that's the first thing. The first thing that you have to do is you have to understand that that's okay to want that thing. And the fact that you want it is why you should have it. Okay? A lot of people are trained from childhood to think you can't have everything you want. And in fact, I talk about people all the time being entitled, and being entitled is a thing that we talk about a lot. Is entitled. You know, you're learning in school. Don't be entitled. Don't want everything. Don't. You know. Hold on. One thing about that I talk a lot about Westerners is that Westerners are more entitled than other people, very entitled. And the thing is, like, that is still an opinion. Like, me saying that someone is entitled, people telling you that you're entitled, that what you want is unreasonable, is an opinion. It just means that based on their paradigm, where they're at, what you want is not possible. It's asking too much for their paradigm. But it doesn't mean that a paradigm doesn't exist where you can have that thing. And it doesn't mean that you can't, and in fact, most likely your job, when you hear people saying that what you want is too much, you're being entitled, what you want is outrageous, it's crazy, whatever, most likely your job is going to be to hear that as and understand that the people that are saying that you're entitled for wanting the things that you want are existing outside of the paradigm where that thing is possible. So hear these things not as, when people are saying that what you want is not okay, hear that as not as what I want is not okay, but hear it as, okay, now I know to maybe steer away from that paradigm, because in that paradigm it's not going to work. So move towards paradigms and realities and people and communities that are more accepting of the thing that you want. So if you want, let's say you want to live in a mansion, with 50 maids, okay, servants. In the paradigm of the United States, people would say you're very entitled. So people would say you're very, you're asking too much if you wanted to live in a mansion with 50 maids, if you're living in the States, let's say, or if you're living in the UK, or if you're living in, like, you know, let's say a very expensive northern industrialized country. But if you're living in Colombia, Paraguay, you're living in Indonesia, Thailand, whatever, well, that might not be very outrageous. Because the average people will be more likely to afford a mansion with 50 maids in a place like Indonesia, Thailand, South America, whatever, rather than in a northern industrialized country. So just understand that what you want is okay, and that there's a place, paradigm, reality, where what you want is possible, okay? And your next step, and I'm just going to write this down even though it's backwards. This is not opening. Okay. Find matching paradigm / people. Okay. So this screen is split, so you probably can't even read this, but I just wrote this for myself. your first step was validating what you want, and that it's okay to want what you want, and you can want what you want, and you should want what you want based on who you are. I've been like obsessed with human design lately. If any of you guys haven't watched my human design interview with Francis Cassidy, he's a human design expert. He will read your human design. It's like basically this map of who you are based on certain esoteric factors. It's like who you are, like what your personality is most likely going to be like, and what your needs are most likely going to be like, you know. It's very interesting, but you don't even have to think of it in the framework of human design. Just think of it in the framework of your personality, who you are. Everybody is different. So many different kinds of people with different needs, limitations. Your needs and limitations might also translate into special skills and abilities and interests. So like everything is really possible depending on who you are. And once you've validated your need, next you can find out where that need is possible, which paradigm place people that need is most likely to happen. So let me give you an example of this. Let's say I'm working at McDonald's in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm working in a random McDonald's, and I am the person who is I'm in the drive-through, a McDonald's drive-through in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm taking people's orders, and I want to be a singer, and everybody that I talk to about my dreams about being a singer is so dismissive of me. I go home, I go to my parents, my family, I tell them about my dreams of becoming a singer, and they tell me I am such a fool, and I'm nobody. I'm a drive-through cashier at McDonald's. I'm nobody. I don't have any skills. My singing is shit. They're so tired of hearing me talk. They're a bunch of drunk people, let's say, that they don't even if they thought being a singer is cool, they wouldn't even be able to be encouraging of me, even in the slightest. So I know that, okay, that the paradigm of my family is not one in which being a singer is going to be a thing. Even if I'm going to sing in front of them, even if I have the best voice in front of them, they will never be able to put energy into that. They're only going to take energy from it, and that's going to make me tired, and that's going to slow down my dream of becoming a singer. So I'm not going to focus on that paradigm for growing this dream. So I need to grow my dream I need to grow my dream somewhere. So, but in something, I need to grow it. But it's not going to happen in that paradigm. Maybe other things will happen in that paradigm. Maybe if I want to have a drink, if I want to have a drink and have a good time, I can do it in the paradigm of my family. Maybe I can go in if everybody is drinking and having a good time, I can have a beer and have a good time in that family. But maybe becoming a singer in the paradigm of that family is not going to happen. So I have to find somewhere else. So then I go to work. I go to my job at McDonald's, being the drive-through person that takes people's orders. And I say, guys, I want to be a singer. And everybody is just laughing at me, and they're all saying, this is not going to be a thing. That's not possible. You can't be a singer. And also, please, stop trying to sing for us. Do your job. We're not really interested in this. You think you're better than us. You think you're better than us. You think you're special. You think you're so special. You're so powerful that you want to be a singer. You think your voice is good. So what you quickly realize is not only do the people at your work not care about you wanting to be a singer, they also feel maybe a little bit threatened by your audacity to have such a floaty dream. I mean, does this mean you're gonna now try to take over their job or something because you think you're so great? Does this mean that are you now gonna try to become really hot and wear makeup and try to look better than them and try to threaten their job now and threaten their shine, So whatever it is, I'm not saying people at McDonald's are going to be like this. I'm just making this up. 1 second. So you know that the paradigm of that is not possible either. And you go through the different paradigms, you try to tell different people that you know, friends, family, whatever. And one day, but this is part of your journey to finding the paradigm in which you can grow being a singer. You can also just not tell anybody, and you can just grow it within yourself. But it'll be easier and faster to grow this dream of becoming a singer if you have help from other people, because like we said, like it takes a lot of energy to try to do it on your own, especially when there are people out there that can help bring that dream to fruition, to help you in a much faster way. So it's just a matter of finding those people. Just keep working towards finding that paradigm with those people. And then you start, while you're taking people's orders, you have an idea one day that you are like, oh, like what if while I'm taking people's orders, I'm going to start singing their orders. So they say, I want a chicken McNugget. And they say, I want to order a chicken McNugget, and they say, here is your chicken McNugget, and you're like saying their order in a sing-songy way. And what you're realizing when you're doing that is that people are actually starting to like it, because the people that are coming to get their orders are maybe not existing in the same repressed paradigm that you were in when you were at home, coming to work, whatever. So maybe these people are existing in a different paradigm. So you're coming into contact with people that exist in a paradigm that maybe might be able to support the idea that you want to be a singer. So you're catching whiff of this new reality in which, yes, it is possible for you to be a singer. So, and you start doing that more, and you start singing. And through singing for these customers that come to get their order, you start to build up a level of confidence that you wouldn't have if you tried to do it in another place. You start to build up a skill, level of confidence, and maybe even one of those people finds you a gig, is like, hey, I work for a record label, why don't you come and do an audition for a record label? And then you go there, and then you meet other people, and then those people know people, and it becomes like a domino effect of boosting you even faster and faster and faster, closer to the paradigms in which you being a singer is going to be more possible. And all of that because you first validated the need, the thing that you wanted, and you second were open to the idea that there's a paradigm out there where your need could be fulfilled by other people. And doing that, getting closer to that more and more and more. Once you find those people in which the paradigm of you being a singer is possible, it exists, your goal now is basically to believe that you can have that from those people. And for a lot of people, it's just you're stuck in a situation where like this is the only paradigm that you have access to right now. Like let's say you don't have the time, energy, availability, possibility to keep meeting all those people until you get to the perfect paradigm. Let's say you're just stuck in this one paradigm. You're just stuck in this place with your friends, your family, your workmates, whatever it is, and you can only work with what you have. So now you can only work within the paradigm you have, and you have to pull the plug on making it work with these people. You have to get this partner to give you what you want. You can't be searching for another partner, or you can't be searching another paradigm. This partner has to give you what you want. This boss has to give you what you want. These coworkers and people have to give you what you want. So that's where we do number 3. Yeah. Okay. So number 3 become the puzzle piece. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. This is all backwards anyway. So the third thing that you do, once you've decided that this is the paradigm in which you're going to make this need that you have happen. This is the paradigm, these are the people. I'm going to get my needs met in this paradigm with these people. That's it. This partner is going to give me what I want. This investor is going to give me my investment. This boss is going to give me a raise. These people will treat me nicely. So you've decided that this is it. This is the paradigm that you're going to have what you want in. And you don't want to explore and go out and waste time. No, this is the paradigm that you want the thing in. Okay, so now this step, become the puzzle piece that fits with the world in which you have that thing. So what do I mean by that? And this works with people, this works with things. This is the law of attraction. And people here talk about this a lot, but I find that the puzzle piece way is the easiest way for me to think about it. People here in Bali, I'm in Bali right now, it's like, Bali has a very huge spiritual community. Everybody talks about manifestation, manifesting, law of attraction, talking about you attract what you want. So if you want something, you basically tune into the frequency. You put out the energy, the frequency, brainwaves, whatever, of the person that has that thing already, so that you can automatically connect to the people, places, things that share that frequency of the thing that you want. So, like, the way that I understand this better is, okay, so this is you, you're this person. That's you. You fit with the world in a certain way. That's the world. So I don't know if you can even see this. So this is you. You fit with the world in a certain way. But you don't want to fit with this world, this reality. This reality is a reality that your boss doesn't treat you nicely. Your boss is mean to you, doesn't pay you enough money, whatever. So this is you, and you're fitting in this reality that the boss is like this. You would rather fit into this reality. So you have this reality, you want this reality. But you cannot fit into this reality. You cannot fit into this reality. Because this reality is shaped like this and you're shaped like this. So even if you keep moving around the world and try to fit into this reality, you are always going to attract this reality, okay? This reality is the reality that your boss is mean to you, that your partner is mean to you, that you don't get what you want. But you want this reality. Your boss is nice to you, your boss gives you a raise, you have a business idea, everybody wants to invest in your business idea, all the girls want to lick you, all the guys want to get with you and give you a big fancy ring. Like, this is the reality that you want, but this is you. So even if you go all around the world, and even if this reality exists, and even if you're number 2, you find this reality and it exists, you still are not going to get this reality. You're still going to keep attracting this reality, because that's the reality that fits with your puzzle piece. So the only thing that you can do, So you want to fit with this reality. The only thing that you can do is become the puzzle piece that fits with this reality right here. So, oh my God. This is such a bad drawing. Like, I don't even know if this is like even making sense. If you're able to get this. You want to fit with this reality. So you want to go from a transformation. You want to go through a transformation from this guy to this guy. Okay? You want to go in a transformation from this guy to this guy. You want to sharpen this guy and make him fit with this new reality. You want to be the kind of person that fits in this reality. So how do you do that? That really is not going to be something that you get the answer from other people. You're not going to get the answer from around you. Because if you ask this guy, how can I fit with you better? The reason why you fit with him is because you listen to everything he says. So asking him, how do I fit with you better, is not going to make you fit with this. Asking him, how do you fit with him better, is going to make you keep being like this. The way that you're going to fit with the reality that you want is you're going to spend more and more time inside of yourself with the reality that you want, and keep listening to what you want. And depending on who you are, like according to your human design, if you're like a generator, you might take more action towards the thing that you are, the thing that you want. If you're a manifestor, you might just be more communicative about it. You might just initiate it more. If you're a projector, you might just wait for it. You might just want it internally. You might just think about it. Like, there's different ways that you might go about it. If you're, there's different ways that people manifest their reality, but all of them come down to, the way I see it, validating what you want, thinking about what it would take to have what you want, and imagining that you already have it. Imagining that you are already that thing. You are the kind of person that people treat with respect. You're the kind of person that people treat with respect. Your world is one in which people treat you with respect. If it doesn't exist right here in this place, that might just have to be inside of your mind for now. You might have to spend and basically you have to create your dream, your reality, to be one in which you already have what you want. So if it's not possible for you to physically be in a place where you already have what you want, it might take a lot of spending time inside of yourself, inside of your imagination. And I think a lot of people think this is crazy. It's like dissociating and spending time in your imagination. But when I think about it, a lot of people do it and it actually makes sense. It works. You spend time in a reality in your mind, pretending that you already have that thing. I'm already the king of the world. Where are your subjects? Where are your servants? If you've watched Game of Thrones, Daenerys, she's like the blonde girl, the blonde queen lady. She's going around saying, I am the prince, I am Princess Daenerys, whatever, Stormborn. I am the queen of the Iron Throne. I am my father, and I'm the last true Targaryen. I have to, my army is going to conquer you, and I'm going to take the Iron Throne, and I'm going to be the queen. And everyone is laughing at her the whole time. They're like, where is your army? Where is your power? Where are your people? Who are you even? You're a little girl. You're basically a little girl. But she just keeps saying it and saying it, and she believes it. She lives in her head in the beginning, because she has to, because the world, the physical world around her is one in which people are not yet treating her and seeing her that way. So she has to, in order to keep generating the energy that would make her fit with this, she's right here. In order to make her the energy that fit with this, she has to, at least in her imagination, which is the only paradigm where that exists. The only paradigm that exists is in her imagination. She has to, in her imagination, be that until she's able to say it verbally, until she's able to take action and actually make it happen. So for a lot of people, I think right now, for a lot of people, the only place where it's possible for you to be the puzzle piece, to change yourself to the puzzle piece that fits with this, is in your imagination. Because, for me, it might have taken some action, some speaking, some initiation, whatever, but ultimately, for a lot of people, it's just a matter of getting yourself. For a lot of people, it's just a matter of validating what they want. I want this thing. Okay, so I'm going to find this thing and I'm going to get this thing. Okay, I want a cup of tea. And by the way, if I'm not making sense, guys, tell me in the comments. If you want me to explain, this is literally just off the cuff. I just felt like making a video, so I'm just making it. And I really enjoy this. So just tell me if I'm not making sense. So I feel like having a cup of water. I want a cup of water, a cup of coffee, and I'm gonna go find the cup of coffee, and I'm gonna go drink a cup of coffee. So that's how it works for a lot of people. Very instant. The dream is within reach. What I want, right there. I can do it. Not a big fuss. I don't even have to tell anybody, because it's just such a done deal, such a no-brainer that I can have this thing, I can do this thing, I'm gonna just do this thing. I'm not even gonna waste brain cells about it. I'm gonna do this thing, and then I'm gonna do 20 other things today, because it's just such a done deal. For a lot of people, that's not the case. They have to first want the thing. They have to first even believe that what they want is possible, what they want is okay. Then they have to believe that there is a universe, a paradigm in which what they want even exists, is even feasible. Then they have to make it happen. They have to go into that paradigm. But for a lot of people, that paradigm actually does not exist. They're not able to find it. The only paradigm where they're able to find it is in their imagination. So for a lot of people, you're going to have to be this puzzle piece in your imagination for a long time, and you have to be okay with it. And you know what? Your imagination is the one place where nobody can touch, nobody can control, nothing can touch or control. You are fully in control. Not completely, because your brain cells, your brain chemicals might affect it. For me, if I'm hungry, if I'm tired, if I'm having my period or whatever, that's gonna affect my thoughts and opinions of that day. All of a sudden I'm in a bad mood, and I don't like everything. Everything is annoying. Everything is irritating. Everybody is irritating and annoying. But more than anything else in your life, your mind, if you were to get paralyzed completely, your mind, your senses, is the one thing that nobody outside can control. Your consciousness. As long as you're alive, that's the one thing in you that you are completely the king of, the queen, whatever, of, the queen of. You are completely in charge of your consciousness. And even if you don't feel in charge of your consciousness, it's just a matter of being with it for long enough that you validate it. A lot of times people aren't in charge don't feel in charge of their consciousness because their consciousness, their mind, their subconscious maybe feels betrayed by them. So your body, mind, whatever, feels betrayed by you because you wanted certain things in the past. It wanted certain things in the past. It told you, your mind told you, I want these things. And you dismissed it. You told it that it was stupid, it was foolish. You pushed it down in the dirt because you didn't believe that it was possible. And so now when you tell it, now instead of telling you, it just is not communicating with you. So a lot of people don't feel in control of their mind. Now certainly the case for me for a while is that I didn't feel in control of my mind. I didn't feel in control of myself because my mind, my consciousness didn't trust me because it felt betrayed by me. So, but that's something that you can fix just over time, just by building trust with your mind, with your consciousness, because that is the thing that you have the most power over. That's your inner child, your inner self. That's the place where you reign first. You have the most power to build trust and keep talking to and building trust with that part of yourself and telling it what you want and having conversations with it. That's the first place where you can be this puzzle piece that fits with your reality. And this actually will be the biggest journey. This will be the biggest journey. Because once you, and this might take years, this might take decades for some people to have these conversations with themselves, with their inner self, and build trust with their inner mind. This can take decades for a lot of people. Because for a lot of people, their inner mind is so betrayed. And, I've heard people say, oh no, they're not betrayed by you, they're betrayed by the people that betrayed you, whoever it is. They feel like you weren't able to protect them and give them what they want, so that's why they're not coming to you with what they want. If your body is not coming to you with what it wants, and maybe it doesn't trust that you can give it what it wants. So this is going to take a lot of talking to, like a little child. You have to really imagine that inside of you is a little child that wants these things, and it should want these things, because by it wanting these things is how it can serve its life purpose. This little child, this little angel inside of you is here on this planet to serve a purpose, to do something important. It's very important. And it is wanting things from you that will allow it to do those things. And it's going to be a process. It will want things now, then next year it will want the next set of things, next year it won't. So you have to build trust with this inner child so that you can properly get it what it wants and do what it wants. And the way that you treat this inner child is how the outside world is going to treat you, because this is at the core of you, of your puzzle piece. This is your inner child. So if you can be this for your inner child, then the rest of the world is going to be that for you. If you can be this for your inner child, over time, the world is going to be that for you. And yeah, it might be a lot easier and faster if you were in a place in the world, in a reality, where the world was just already like this, so that you can just bring this here, you can just fit inside of this, and then your puzzle piece will change from this to this just by fitting in the world that is like this. So it would be nicer, right, if the whole world fit in this new paradigm that you wanted, your whole reality was in this new ideal paradigm that you wanted, so that your puzzle piece would go from this to this just by fitting with the world, because it would just change you. Like, let's say, and I talk about this a lot, where like you could actually change who you are by just changing your environment. Like your whole environment, it really affects you, like, because you're a human. So like, let's say you want to be the kind of person that people treat nicely. So you don't want to be this person that everybody treats like a doormat. You want to be this person that everybody treats nicely. So it's true that you can just become the kind of person that people treat nicely by putting yourself in a place where people treat you nicely. I talk about this a lot, and this is actually what happened for me too in so many cases, where like over time, if you put yourself in a place where people treat you nicely and everybody is just treating each other nicely, people are wealthier, happier, generally doing okay, they're better looking usually, like people are treat you nicely because they're just used to being treated nicely. They treat you how they know how to treat and how they know how to be treated. So people are treating you nicely, and then over time you become a nice person. You don't even have to think about it. You don't even have to do any of this internal imagination work, because just your brain changes by being in a place where people treat you nicely. So that is actually the easiest, fastest hack. You know, if you can find a place, a reality, a paradigm where people, the world already fits in the way that you want, that would be the fastest, easiest way. If the whole place was radically so different from your reality. But for a lot of people, it's really hard. For a lot of people, that's, especially if you are, the move that you make, let's say you move, a lot of people move from the US, they move to places where it's still kind of similar to the US. Like a really popular place for people to move is like nomads. Like they don't want to move to like what they call a third world country. They don't want to move to like Paraguay or Colombia, even though like those countries are probably the best. They don't want to move to like Indonesia, whatever. They want to move to Europe. If they want to be really exotic, they'll move to Argentina. They want to move to countries that feel like industrialized, Europeanized, westernized countries to them. But most likely what happens is when you're not making such a big move, you're not making such a big leap, and you're probably going to bring a lot of this puzzle piece guy with you to this new place and keep attracting this thing. It's hard, especially if you're you, to radically bring yourself to an environment where you're not you, where that changes you as a person. It's really possible, and I've certainly done it. I know a lot of people that have done it, but it's going to take many steps. It's going to take moving around, because you're going to bring your energy, your problems with you to wherever you go. You're going to for a few times that you move around, and you're going to need to move around a lot. And so until that happens, for a lot of people, it might be feasible to just do this in your imagination. Imagine that you're already in a place that you have that thing, and keep visualizing it until you're attracting those things, because you don't really know where it might come from yet. And it works with people, it works with places, things, environments, and believe that you can find it. Keep searching for, let's say you're in a situation where your boss is really mean to you. Let's say you can't leave your job because that's how you survive, that's how you make a living. Fine. if that's the only thing that is holding you back from like ditching that boss and going and finding a different boss, then make it your mission that everything else outside of that boss is a paradigm and a reality in which people treat you the way that you want, and they pay you well, and they're nice to you, and keep searching for other bosses that give you a better raise, better money, better treat you nicer, whatever. If that's not possible, then at least just visualize that you can be treated that way, and only talk to people that match that dream. So like most of the time it's you're not chained and you're not in a dungeon by this one person who insists that you be treated this way. Most of the time it's just a matter of taking the time, the intention to say, yes, what I want is out there, and right now I have bombarded myself and my life with all the people that I've attracted that are a certain type, that are treating me a certain way, that see me a certain way. Like if you made all these friends and met all these people in your life from a position of being a doormat, then first of all, you're only attracting people that want to be friends with a doormat. So you're going to be attracting those kind of people. But second of all, that's the expectation that you give them at the start of your relationship. It's going to be really hard to change other people. It's really much easier to change yourself. So just think to yourself, do you really, really, really need all of these people around you that treat you this certain way? Do you need all these people that treat you in this energy? And only keep the people that you really, really, really need. Okay, your boss maybe, your parent, because your parent is giving you money or something, for survival, and just understand that this is only until this relationship is only until you can find people that give you what you want. Yeah. And the thing is that once you do that, what you find is that almost everybody is actually willing to give you what you want, even the people that you didn't think would be willing to give you what you want. Like even that boss, if they could, they would probably just give you what you want. If you have made that shift in your mind, if you have successfully made that shift and you have put yourself in this reality where you're only finding and attracting people that treat you this certain way. You don't talk to anybody that doesn't treat you the way that you want. You're just very, very hyper focused on this. Over time, what you'll find is that if you really, really dedicate yourself to this process of becoming the puzzle piece that fits with the world that you want, with the reality that you want, and it was really just that boss that was still treating you that way, and you're still doing this job because you needed this money. For whatever reason, you still have to talk to this person and still interact with this person. What you'll find is that intuitively, this boss changes with you because you're working off of the energy of this new reality in which you are a new puzzle piece. People are treating you nicer. They won't even maybe know or understand. Maybe in the beginning there'll be some resistance to changing, whatever, but over time, as you commit yourself, dedicate yourself to this process of becoming the puzzle piece that fits with the world, in which the reality in which you want, and the way that people are. Let's say you want your husband to be making a lot of money and be more productive or be more like this. Take you out for like romantic date nights. By you imagining yourself and treating yourself that way, treating yourself to romantic date nights, treating your inner child the way that it wants, the way that you want other people to treat you. First, you treat your inner child that way. Buying things for your inner child, showering your inner child with abundance, learning about wealth to become that wealthy thing within your own capacity for your inner child. You find that the world around you starts to move mountains to become that for you. And they're not even thinking about it consciously. They're not even trying to do anything. You didn't even have to tell them anything. Because here's what happens when you start changing from this puzzle piece to this puzzle piece. This guy says, oh shit, this person is changing to this puzzle piece. I have to, I need this. I have to change to this puzzle piece if I want to keep engaging in this situation. They do it instinctively. They're not even... Humans, we're very instinctive creatures, 96%, between 92 and 98%, depending on which study you found. Between 92 and 98% of your brain activity is happening subconsciously. It's happening without you even knowing. So most of what the people around you are doing is purely instinctive. They're not even thinking about it, which means it's going to be really hard to control people by telling them to do things. It's going to be really hard to control people by trying to get them consciously to do things. Most likely how you're going to get them to do what you want is through an instinctive manner, by changing your own subconscious, by making your own subconscious, your instincts match this new way. And then their instincts are going to match the new way. Automatically. It's like animals. The animal knows all of a sudden that it needs to communicate with you, match with you in this new way. And they're not even thinking about it. You didn't even have to tell them. You didn't even have to. They might even think it's their own idea completely. Yeah. So, it's really powerful, and I don't know if I even explain this well, but it's really powerful what you can get your reality to do for you based on what you do for the inner you, your inner child. It's really powerful to watch your entire reality change just to accommodate the new you, which changed to accommodate the inner you. So this is the inner you, which is where your wants and needs are coming from. This is the outer you, which is your body, your mind, your thoughts, your physical, your human self, you, the person that I'm talking to. This is you. This is you. This is the inner you, where the needs and wants, a little baby you that's completely helpless. And this is you. And then this is the world around you. Your reality, which could totally be just imagination. Your imagination, it could totally be a simulation that's made up in your head. Everything is just a reflection of everything that's happening inside of your head. Everything that you remember is just a memory that's happening inside of your head. Everything that you perceive for the future is just perception happening inside of your head. Everything that's happening outside of this room is just exists because my imagination knows that it exists, because my mind perceives it to exist outside of here, but I don't actually see it. I'm not actually sensing it physically. It can all change and do things for me, totally new things, treat me totally new and differently based on how I treat this little guy right here. So that was number one, is validate this little guy, validate the need, okay? Validate what you want. It is good to want what it wants because it needs to want what it wants, because this little baby crying, needing what it wants, whatever it is that it wants, being angry, being emotional, whatever it is that this baby feels like doing, that's how it's going to fulfill your life purpose. Your life purpose is going to be fulfilled by this guy right here. You are completely reliant on this little baby's having its needs. So validate the little baby. Once you validate it, you're going to start seeking a reality in which this baby can be okay. And as you do that, you're going to start to learn how to be the reality for the baby so that the world around you can be the reality for you. That's how you're going to become the puzzle piece that fits with that world around you. So it's not necessarily going to happen in a certain order. It's going to kind of happen simultaneously. You'll find, like, I'm telling you this in like 1, 2, 3 in like an order, but the thing is that it's most likely not going to happen in order. It's most likely going to happen all together, basically. It's going to happen all together. And a lot of it is going to happen, actually most of it is going to happen without your conscious knowing. You won't be consciously thinking about it. It's going to happen energetically, divinely, spiritually. People use all these words just to describe things that we cannot see, because as physical beings, we just can't see what's outside of this physical plane that I can sense, hear, see. So that's all that it means. It doesn't have to mean magical or whatever. So, but that's where most of it is going to happen. It's going to happen outside of your ability to sense and see for most of us. A lot of people are very highly sensory and they can sense tiny little things and little shifts and little changes. But even those people, they're going to be they're going to be spending a lot of energy on that. They won't be able to. We're very limited. Like, we won't be able to know how much is changing outside of ours. So all we have to do is focus on the little baby, what we're giving to the little baby. The microcosm of the world that we know for sure is this world of my body in which the baby exists. If I can change this puzzle piece to be this for the baby, my reality, and trust that my reality can and should change to fit with me, to be that with me. And I'm curious to hear about your guys' thoughts. Like, am I missing anything? Did I make sense? I want to hear what you guys think about that. And if you haven't checked it out, check out my website, househackersanonymous.com. I wrote a book called House Hackers Anonymous, and it's basically all about how I radically changed my situation and got to this place where I'm able to make these, like, just sit around. It's a Sunday. I'm just doing nothing. I live in Bali. We, spa days, massages nonstop. Massages at least 2 or 3 times a week. We have spa days almost every day. Swimming, sports. Next week we're going scuba diving. It's a pretty awesome life, and I try to film as much of it as possible. A lot of it is also just me, like, going on this personal development journey, obsessed with personal development, reading, going through emotional crying, making these videos, like, really trying to get to know myself. This takes time, and this takes the kind of time that a lot of people don't have because they're just busy being in a grind. They're working, they're just trying to survive just for now, and they're still in debt. They're working so much and they're still in debt. So if you have time, I would highly encourage that you read my book, House Hackers Anonymous. I tried to make it as simple as possible, the simplest possible way that I could think for you to at least come up with ideas to boost yourself into a new paradigm in which you can be financially free, you can have passive income, you can travel the world, you can fulfill your dreams, do whatever you want. And yeah, it's like in 12 steps. Yeah, go check it out. And hope you guys are having a great day. See you in the next video.